another possible heat record shattered, forcing more school districts across the metro to send kids home early or keep them home for the day.
So we're trying to make sure that the temperatures aren't excessive.
Extremely high temperatures across the Front Range and the Eastern Plains again today with a heat advisory in effect. We'll have more details coming up.
Plus, we told you how some Excel customers can't control their own thermostats.
It's a bad business practice.
We're hearing more from Excel about what happened.
These programs are very valuable to the system. They help us manage load when we have these super hot days.
And a former Bronco saying goodbye to the NFL.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Emmanuel Sanders. 12 years. I'm walking away from the game healthy.
Woo! It is another hot and hazy day across the Front Range. We are under a weather action day because temperatures, they are going to be in the upper 90s again today. And we're under a heat and air quality advisory as well. Thanks so much for joining us for Denver 7 News at 11. I'm Jason Grenauer. Let's start with a look at our current temperatures outside. It's only going to get warmer from here this afternoon. Denver, Boulder, Fort Collins have a chance at breaking records today. That's why meteorologist Stacey Donaldson joins us now. Stacey, the heat is here and it isn't going away.
Not at least for the next couple of days. We have heat advisories in effect for today and tomorrow here in this orange shaded area from Denver all the way up towards Sterling and Akron. And we also have an air quality alert for these areas as well for high ozone levels. So the heat advisory in effect for the rest of the day with temperatures close to 100 degrees in many cities throughout this region. So mid to upper 90s here for our area, 97 in Erie, 98 in New Raymer, and 101 for Sterling with 100 for Fort Morgan. So excessive heat here across the Front Range and northeastern Colorado, and it actually is now putting us in third place for one of the hottest summers we've had with 62 90-degree plus days here. And now we're working on getting closer to this 2020 and 2012 numbers here for 75 and 73 days respectively. But it looks like we have a few more days in store. I'll let you know what the 7-day forecast looks like coming up.
All right, Stacey, thank you. Now, some school districts across the metro are closing early. We're not having school at all because of the heat. The Thompson School District and the Poudre School District are closing 2 hours early today and tomorrow. And Denver Public Schools is closing some schools because they don't have AC. As Denver 7's Veronica Acosta reports, some DPS schools were supposed to have air conditioning or get it this year, but it hasn't happened yet.
Knapp Elementary is just one of 3 schools that are going to be closed altogether both today and tomorrow because it is too hot for students to sit inside of those classrooms. The 2 other schools at DPS has opted to close altogether for the next 2 days, Columbine and Barrett. Yesterday, we were in front of a different school telling you that 4 DPS schools were going to let students out early because of the heat. This morning, that list is much longer, and there are some big schools on that list. West High School, Thomas Jefferson High, and Manual. We do have the full list of those over on our website. That's thedenverchannel.com. Without AC in these schools, the classrooms themselves, they can get up to 90 degrees, and heat is the ultimate reason DPS already starts later than other districts. They've been working on getting AC installed in the schools without it. 6 were supposed to be upgraded last year. 9 were supposed to get AC over the summer. They were only partially completed, though, because of supply chain issues. Some already have piping ready to go, but they can't get chillers. In other cases, the microchip shortage really playing a role. District officials say fixing this is top of mind for them.
And when we go back in August, temperatures are just higher than they have been historically. We are evaluating the next set of schools. So we'll have 31 schools remaining after the 2020 bond for air conditioning.
DPS not the only school district that's opting to make some sort of schedule change because it's just too hot right now. Poudre School District and Thompson School District also opting to let students out at least 2 hours early because just too hot in the classroom. In Denver, I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
Now, we asked Denver Public Schools if early releases will extend the school year. The district tells us there are extra days built into the calendar for heat or snow days. So as long as the district doesn't exceed the extra number of days, the school year will end on time. Now, there are places you can keep cool. Denver is opening several cooling centers today and tomorrow. Rec centers and most libraries are open during regular business hours, so you can take a break from the heat. Now, you won't be able to keep cool at an outdoor pool. Those are already closed for the season, but some communities do have indoor pools. Check with your rec center about amenities and prices. Okay, so last week we told you how Excel was locking thousands of Coloradans out of their AC thermostats. Excel said it was because of an energy emergency. Well, Contact Denver 7 broke this story, and since then we've had thousands of responses. Lisa Bledsoe says when her house got hot last Tuesday, she thought her AC was broken. She paid a repairman $99 only to find out her AC was fine. Excel had shut it down that night without any notification as part of a voluntary energy savings program Lisa had signed up for a decade ago.
And you need to be notified by the company as the consumer. That's only fair. My plan now is that I would opt out of the Saver Switch program unless they refund me the $99.
Anytime we run programs like this, we're looking at opportunities to improve communications, because communications is key. Want to make sure people know what's happening, why it's happening, and keep them informed. So we'll be taking this back and taking a look at it to see if there's things that we can do better, in the next round of events.
Now, Excel tells us that during a high energy use day, they suspend thermostat controls for the opt-ins as needed to help manage the grid. If you signed up for the program, you can opt out. Now, Excel does have non-program related tips to save money on your energy bill. Close your blinds, for example, to keep out the heat. If you have a ceiling fan, run it counterclockwise. Make sure your AC coils are clean because it helps with your unit's efficiency. Castle Rock is trying to find ways to conserve water when we have dry and hot days like this stretch we're in right now. It's considering new requirements for homeowners' yards and landscaping. Castle Rock is considering banning sod from front yards. Homeowners would have to use low water use plants. Officials say more than 40% of the city's water use is for irrigation, so this ordinance would be one way to reduce water use.
I think that we're going to be at the forefront. We were way ahead of time as far as having water regulations and being able to water your yards 20 years ago. And I think we're going to be at the forefront of how we're going to save water on the Front Range.
Now, if approved, the ordinance would apply for homes built after January 1st, 2023. The City Council will have its first vote on the ordinance on September 20th. Stay with Denver 7 as we monitor today's weather. You can find updates on our website, denver7.com, and you can get forecasts on our free Denver 7 Plus app. We're also following developments from Dove Valley. Super Bowl champion and former wide receiver Emmanuel Sanders is retiring as a Bronco. He spent 12 years in the NFL, 6 of them with the Denver Broncos. He's holding a news conference that's expected to start at any moment, and when that happens, we'll try to bring some of that to you live. Now, Sanders posted a video announcing his retirement earlier on today. Here's what he had to say.
After 12 years in the NFL, 3 Super Bowl appearances, 2 Pro Bowls, 1 Super Bowl win. I've been in my career as a Super Bowl champion.
Sanders ended his Broncos career ranked 7th in receptions and 10th in receiving yards. We'll hear more from Sanders coming up on Denver 7 News at 4. Well, the Broncos start their season in just 5 days, and we know what players now are team captains. Players chose Russell Wilson, Courtland Sutton, Justin Simmons, Bradley Chubb, and Brandon McManus. The Broncos are playing in Seattle on Monday night, a place in Seattle where Russell Wilson called home for the last 10 seasons. It's also one of the loudest places in the league, so the team is preparing for a lot of noise.
So we know it's one of the loudest stadiums. That and Arrowhead, for my experience, have been the 2 loudest. So we have to do whatever we can to make it so no one can hear. So bring your earplugs. We're just excited to go play a football game. I mean, all these guys have been chomping at the bit, and that's what you want.
You're home for the Broncos opener in Seattle. You can watch the game right here on Denver 7. Our coverage starts at 5. Kickoff is just after 6 o'clock on Monday. Some other news now. Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters is expected to make a plea in court today. She's accused of tampering with the county's election equipment. Yesterday, a judge threw out a lawsuit she filed after her run for Secretary of State. The lawsuit challenged the methods used in the primary election recount. The judge said she filed the lawsuit too late after the recount was finished and already certified. Boulder police are telling people to lock their doors and windows after they say a man burglarized homes and sexually assaulted CU Boulder students. Police say the suspect seen in this surveillance video targeted at least 3 students over the weekend in a 2-block area near University Hill. Police believe there could be more victims. They say he broke in either through an unlocked door or an unlocked window. Once inside, female victims say they woke up to him performing a sexual act. People can learn more about the relocation of a Denver safe outdoor space focused on helping Native Americans. Right now, the current site is near Denver Health. It's run by the Colorado Village Collaborative. The site is closing because the lease is up, so a new site will open near 47th and Peoria in Montbello.
We've got our heart into it, and we're going to continue serving this population that's vastly overrepresented in our unsheltered populations. And then, of course, we provide the great, services like housing navigation, employment navigation, and really get folks connected back into their community.
Tonight's virtual meeting starts at 6. You can get a link on the Colorado Village Collaborative's website. Well, natural disasters can happen at any time in Colorado, so it's important to be prepared. Coming up, we're talking to the city of Denver about the steps you should take so you're ready in case of an emergency. Plus, there's more legal trouble for a top strategist to former President Donald Trump, the charges Steve Bannon is facing.